Hello, and welcome to Applied Nostalgia, a podcast that applies post 9/11 thought patterns and analyses onto pre 9/11 television. In other words, Cale and Evan talk about old TV shows. For updates, follow us on Twitter at SoWellRead, that's at SOWELLRED. So stick around for a few laughs, and you just might learn something along the way. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Oh, it's kind of cold in here. Snowstorm's going on. Was that was someone rapping at my chamber door? Here, let me get that. Creek?
Hey, what's going on?
What? Evan, why'd you come over here? We weren't planning on hanging out on Christmas Eve.
Well, my family kicked me out of the house because my wife says that I don't have a job. I thought I did, but I don't.
I guess it's a good thing that we decided to not get each other any gifts this year.
Oh, well, I may not have a job, according to my wife, but I got you a present.
That's really nice of you. Okay, I'll admit, I got you something too.
Hey, we weren't supposed to buy each other Christmas presents, though.
You take mine, and I'll take yours, and let's open these things up.
Hey,
oh, nice bow on this one.
yeah.
Oh.
Hey, whoa, oh my gosh.
How did you know?
Yeah, well, I know you.
You got me the Mego action figure?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. It must be one of a kind.
It is. I had it designed by Todd McFarlane of Spawn fame.
Wow, and not even the Mego character. It's the Jonathan Lipnicki character?
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It even comes with his own little vampire teeth that he wore in that Halloween episode. Wow.
It's very rare. And wow, what you got me, this is great. It's a Visa gift card. That's great.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that, because I was going to just give you cash, but,
Yeah, I don't know. Thanks, I guess. I mean, it's like, can't help but think that you're just calling me poor, giving me money.
Well, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I'm going to probably have one of those action figures made for me, so
Yeah.
we can play Mego.
Oh, man, that'd be so much fun to play Mego.
Have the dad. What's his name?
Ed Begley,
Ed Begley
Jr.
Yeah, I'm having Ed Begley Jr. figure made.
You could have a Trip one made, but then then your wife might go after it.
Yeah,
because
no.
he's so hunky, even in 6-inch form, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I'm glad this worked out. It really it just showed how good of a friendship we have.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah. Did you walk over here in the snowstorm?
Yeah, I did. It was really cold and really loathsome. I hate my life.
Did you get lost at all, or get frostbite or anything? Do you need? I mean, you should take your coat off. You're covered in snow right now.
Yeah, take my coat off. Interesting.
Well, no, I got no ulterior motive here.
Oh, okay.
But
I'll take it off. This paper coat is not working.
You aren't exactly rolling in money. Maybe you should use that gift card to buy a new North Face jacket.
So in a way, you almost did think of something to give me for Christmas.
Yeah, I did. I definitely didn't just find that card on the ground. But
so how much is on that also?
$6 something?
That's not bad. $6.
No, it's $6. So.
Mego action figure was cost me over $8,000.
Oh my god,
well,
really?
I had to have it designed, and then I had to have the mold built.
For that.
Disney found it out.
Really?
Yep, and they're actually using it because they're making a Jerry Maguire action figure set.
Oh, so they're just gonna take the teeth off of him, and then that's it.
So
it's understandable.
But I'm getting sued.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you get a cease and desist order?
Yeah.
Hey, well, when you love Mego, you love Mego. That's all I know.
Yeah, well, Mego at court now, but that's another story.
Yeah, hopefully your court-appointed attorney will help you out in this.
Yeah, well, I told him I'm going to defend myself. I got myself into this. I'm going to get myself out of this.
I'm sure Disney won't have any good lawyers or anything.
No, probably not. They're all tied up with that Star Wars stuff.
Since you don't need that cease and desist, maybe you could burn that coat, the fire I got going on here. We'll just hunker down and, I don't know, if you feel like watching a show.
Yeah.
I happen to have a copy of Mr. Belvedere here, and it's the Christmas episode.
Let's do it. Let's watch some Belv.
We're both huge Belv fans.
Biv Bedeau.
Oh man, could you imagine if it was Belvedere Biv DeVoe and they had him on the stage with the other two guys?
Yes.
It'd be awesome.
I'm thinking about it right now and it makes me want to laugh.
Today we watched Mr. Belvedere episode 408 called Christmas Story. Do you think you could give a couple sentence synopsis about what this episode was about?
People are fickle, and the characters on Belvedere are no exception. People change their mind and have a change of heart, and I think mostly this episode was about being a human at Christmas time.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fitting description. I think that actually could fit the whole show,
Yeah.
except for the Christmas part. That was very specific to this
No,
episode.
Christmas is but one day a year.
Now, I couldn't help but notice this is season 4. Did they do Christmas episodes for the other seasons too?
I don't know.
Because this kind of seems like a one-time story.
Yeah, I didn't know until you said that it was season 4, and that's kind of ridiculous. that this is season 4. I hope there's other Christmas episodes, and I hope they're better.
Well, I just want to know if there was another one before this, then how the heck was none of this addressed beforehand?
I don't know.
It just doesn't make sense. You'd think the first time they meet him and hang out with him on Christmas, then they would have this conversation or notice something up
Yeah.
with him. But anyway, for those of you who don't know, Mr. Belvedere is a great sitcom starring that guy who plays Mr. Belvedere.
Christopher Hyatt? Hewitt?
I think it's
Something.
Hyatt, right? No, Hewitt.
Chris Hewitt? I think it's Hewitt.
So this family in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Get this butler,
Yeah.
and he's kind of an overweight, dandy English guy. Then they have him be the butler servant guy. He's basically Joffrey from Fresh Prince, but fat and white with
Yeah.
with a mustache. Well, Joffrey probably had a mustache, I think, didn't he? I don't know.
On Fresh Prince?
Yeah,
You know what? Yeah, I think he had a goatee.
I think he did. Yeah, he had something going on. But anyway, so this is the Christmas episode, and it opens with the family getting their stuff ready for Christmas. It seemed to be like Christmas, like the day before Christmas Eve.
You know, I
Something like
actually
that.
couldn't. I tried to pin down like a timeline, and I couldn't because he didn't give you one.
Things happened very
Yeah.
quickly. So I don't know if it was the day before Christmas Eve or a week before, but it starts off and they were getting ready for Christmas. They're pulling out all these old things, and Wesley, the Dennis the Menace type kid, comes
Wesley.
out and he has a humongous stocking. It's like as big as him, and he's like, "Hey, I found it. I thought it was bigger," which is a weird thing because I noticed because I'm such a sitcom file, not any other kind of file.
They got a file on you.
Yeah, because I watch so many cool shows.
Yeah.
They used that exact same joke in the Silver Spoons Christmas episode
Oh my god.
with the rich kid from Silver Spoons pulling out like a 4-foot stocking, like
Jesus.
implying that he's so rich that he gets it filled with presents. And I think Wesley, they weren't that rich, but
rich enough to have a
he was selfish.
butler though.
Yeah, I guess that is pretty rich. A live-in butler. He lives
Yeah.
there, which is kind of crazy.
That's pretty ridiculous, but I mean, you know, the 80s.
Yeah, a lot of coke money going
Yeah.
around. Kevin and Mr. Belvedere come in, and they bring like the Christmas tree that they're gonna start decorating. And I don't know what day it is still, but they're gonna start decorating that Christmas tree. And then Mr. Belvedere just immediately shuts down all conversation and wants to go to his room. Was that the part where the laugh was?
So they're asking Mr. Belvedere why he's not going to be there on Christmas, because he makes it pretty clear that he's going to spend Christmas alone. So the family starts, you know, really getting in his face, trying to get him to spend the day, and he says, "I have a Christmas tradition. It's I spend Christmas alone." And then one person in the audience, the studio audience, like lets out an insane laugh, like it's really funny. And then you can tell that they looked around and realized nobody else was laughing, and they stop. But it was a somber moment. But it was also, it reminded me of the advantage of a live studio audience.
Also, how sad that person's life must be
Yeah.
that they find that hilarious.
You fucking piece of shit!
They literally just laughed at a guy sitting alone being sad at Christmas time.
And it was a pretty hysterical laugh. It was a belly laugh.
They had a good childhood, I bet.
Yeah. But it was funny. I noticed on my second viewing of the show after.
Oh yeah, because I played it and then I went to go make us some hot chocolate.
Oh yeah,
and you
yeah.
watched it again.
I watched it again because.
I mean,
what can I say?
I can't blame you for rewinding the tape and watching it again.
Nope.
That just shows how much of a Belvedere fan you are.
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
Belvedere was saying it was his only day off too of the year.
Yeah, because Bob Uecker says, "I don't know why he wants to take Christmas off. I don't pay him for it."
So he's just gonna sit in his room all day while the family's downstairs. I guess.
Yeah, seems like he's going out of his way to be alone.
Clearly, is like he's invited by the family to spend Christmas
Yeah.
with them, and they live there already. It's not like
He's
he doesn't have to drive anywhere.
seems like he's being kind of an asshole.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
But I mean, like how you said, the family kind of got in his face about it. My favorite way of like convincing someone to do something and sweet talking them is to all get in somebody's
make it
face.
feel bad.
Yeah.
Make a big thing out of it and just not let it go. Well, he's their butler, so in a way.
Do you think they
know.
could order him to have Christmas with them?
Maybe. He said he didn't pay him on Christmas. Maybe if he paid him on Christmas.
Yeah, if he's like, you know what, you're working on Christmas, is that like him getting called in like
yeah,
at
that's
work?
true. They should have done that. See? This whole episode didn't need to happen. It's like in modern movies where cell phones solve a lot of the issues.
Yeah, like all these horror movies.
Yeah, like where the story would end, within the first 3 minutes because of a cell phone. This episode would have ended in the first 3 minutes if they just would have used their power over him, which is the whole predicate for the sitcom itself.
So what you're saying is Bob Uecker should have been a little bit more like Scrooge.
Yeah.
Which also would have probably been a better episode.
Yeah, why couldn't they... Okay, you know what? That's a good point. Like, why didn't they use some kind of framework from something that worked? Because we were talking about it, and there was no framework to this episode.
Oh.
Nothing happened. It was just like a really capricious series of emotional outbursts and disagreements. It was kind of just insane.
It did capture the random wanton fights that happen in families at Christmas time, though.
Yeah.
But like real life, there was nothing happening that was important. It was really just a series of arguments that led nowhere, and ultimately had no payoff either, because they really didn't even open presents at the end. Spoiler alert.
Oh, shit.
I mean, they kind of did. I'll get to that because I have something about. I need to get it off my chest, really. Just like this down jacket I got because it's so cold in this house from the snowstorm we're
Must be
in.
nice.
Yeah.
Paper jackets aren't so bad, though. It's like a paper wallet.
Yeah.
You don't want to use it, but, you're not going to throw it in the fire. Oh, wait. I did
Yeah.
throw
Well,
my
I
jacket
mean,
in the
you
fire,
just throw
didn't I?
another log on there, and then it'll get warmer over on your side of
That's
the
true.
room. I mean, I'm sorry there's snow coming in through that window on you, but
Hey, that's all right. Sort of fitting.
that's the lot you have in life.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mr. Belvedere is not going to work on Christmas, and he also made a point of saying that he already made the food too.
Yeah, I found
So
that interesting.
he cooked like an entire Christmas dinner, or had it all set up, and then they just had to like put it in the oven, which
Yeah.
means that probably took up a lot of space in their fridge.
I don't think they have the space. I was trying to figure out the logistics of that.
I mean, they could have put it outside maybe in like a cooler. I mean, I don't think they had like a deep freezer or something in the basement that they put it in.
I don't believe any of it. I feel like it's very lazy.
I mean, listen, they're clearly wealthy enough to live in Philadelphia with a butler,
Yeah.
but are they wealthy enough to have a couple fridges? I don't think so.
No.
Euchre's a practical guy. He's not just gonna have another fridge lying around.
There's no way he'd probably be like, another fridge? We got a fridge. He'd say that.
He would. That
There'd be a
sounds
whole
exactly
episode
like-
about it.
I'm sure there was actually.
It'd be called the Big Freeze.
Yeah.
Like as a pun.
Like the fridge starts going on the fritz, and then he's just trying to hit it with a hammer and then get it working again, and they're trying to say, we'll get
Like-
another one. He's like, where'd it go on?
Belvedere comes in and rolls his eyes and is like, did the freezer say something about your sports team or something? He's like, big guy.
Yeah, Mr. Belvedere comes in and he's like, we need to get the new fridge because my creme fraiche won't set right. And then he's like, you dandy,
Yeah.
you English dandy.
He's like, I don't think we need any more cream puffs in the house.
Don't we have enough cream puffs already?
And then, it'd be, and then he'd be like, I know why it doesn't work, because you're always come down here and eat midnight snacks, or because you always open it so
you burnt
much.
out the motor from the light coming on so much.
Yeah.
And then Wesley will be like, can I have those rotten eggs? Because I'm a scamp and I'm going to throw them at our neighbor's house or something.
Yes, Wesley.
Of course he would, Wesley.
Oh, sorry, I was going to make that for breakfast tomorrow. Because he feeds him rotten eggs. Because he hates them.
I'm just thinking we should make our own Mr. Belvedere fan fiction because I think
Yeah.
we got this down as well as the writers did.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was actually kind of sad that Mr. Belvedere didn't say Wesley in this
didn't.
episode. He usually does. They really get at each other, even though
Yeah.
they don't have any hard feelings towards each other.
Yeah, for some reason. I mean, but Wesley was really nice to him this episode. I mean,
He was super nice to him.
We'll get to that, I guess.
We got the opening credits. Streaks down to China.
Never had it before. Then blah blah.
Then other words that are kind of like ba ba da ba da ba.
It's a good though. It's like a Paul McCartney song.
Yeah, it's a lot of like Wings.
Yeah.
Opening credits end, and then they're sitting on the couch and they're opening like Christmas cards they got from someone, even though they're all are open already and just sitting in their hands, so they've clearly been read. And that's pretty boring. And they talk about I don't even know what.
Yeah, and also there's that part before the credits where they take the popcorn balls out.
Oh yeah, like a weird decoration.
You know, I thought there was a weird joke that is a weird image where Wesley compares it to Aunt Millie, and he's like, it smells bad and it's something, and then
Euchre goes, yeah, but this doesn't have a mustache.
Yeah, and I was like, that's weird. And I was like, that's a weird image. A popcorn ball with a mustache.
Yeah, it was like a weird elf, like hangman, like a rope figure of like like an arms and a legs, and it was kind of green, and it was just made out of popcorn balls. And they said it was old too, like a couple years old at least.
They said that. Oh yeah, and oh, you know what? This goes back to we talked about, or you said something about how they had to have known that Belvedere's tradition was to spend Christmas alone because they made a joke that Mr. Belvedere cracked his tooth trying to eat the popcorn ball at a previous Christmas.
Yeah.
So what's he doing? So
Well, maybe it wasn't Christmas. Maybe he was just digging through the attic.
Yeah, maybe. Jesus Christ.
Mr. Belvedere is a
Got
fat guy.
got a problem.
He was just doing some spring cleaning and found some old popcorn balls and tried to bite them.
Jesus.
Presumably he's been there for over a year
And
at
he
this
said
point.
tradition.
Yeah.
He said my tradition is to spend it alone. And you can't just call it a tradition if it's the first time you've done it.
My tradition.
What?
I was trying to do my Sharona.
Okay, that's what I thought when you said the first, and I was like, wait, what?
I don't know, it just popped in my head. Really weird. And the mustache thing, that's a funny thing because women have facial hair, so it's funny.
It's a weird image. A popcorn. It's a really lazy joke, clearly, but they created a popcorn ball with a mustache.
I don't even understand why someone would make something out of popcorn balls.
I don't know.
Like, if it gets wet, it's gonna get ruined. Unless they're, like, lacquered together instead of regular popcorn balls. But then why use popcorn and not styrofoam or
people
something?
do it, I guess. Popcorn stuff. But why do you... I don't know. Look, I don't know. The popcorn ball with a mustache. It's a lazy joke, but that's just stupid.
It is very stupid.
It's just dumb. It's like, of course it doesn't have a mustache. It's not even, it's too obvious to even be a joke. But anyways, I digress.
So yeah, then Belvedere brings in a tray of cookies while they're on the couch opening cards. They all take one, and the daughter,
Oh, the daughter.
she
Tracy Wells?
she takes a bite and goes, "Wow, Mr. Belvedere, these are great. You want one?"
Oh, yeah.
Bob Euchre picks one up, and the wife picks one up, and then they all eat one. And then Mr. Belvedere's like, "I won't eat them because I know what's in them."
Yeah.
And then Bob Euchre like puts it down disgustedly, like, "What is he doing to this?"
And that goes back to the rotten eggs joke.
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
maybe he really would feed them rotten eggs in that
Maybe he did.
theoretical episode.
And that's what was in those cookies.
That's true. Wow.
But then that daughter's really weird because she liked it so much.
Yeah. I
So
know what
he
you
hates
mean.
Christmas so much that he won't even eat cookies that he made for them that they're offering him. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I can't imagine Mr. Belvedere not eating a cookie.
Well, I mean, he's clearly not on a diet or anything.
Oh, no.
So he's got nothing against it other than it being a Christmas-themed cookie, which we didn't even see what they were shaped like, or
No.
nothing was talked about or anything. They just like...
Maybe he was fasting? Honestly.
I've never seen him do anything fast.
Hey, well, except for his quips.
It's true.
His wit is the only fast thing about him. See,
He's rapier like wit.
that's something he would say.
So then Wesley comes down the stairs, and he's wearing a yarmulke, and it was like the biggest yarmulke I've ever seen. It looked
Yeah.
basically like a hat. I mean, a yarmulke is a hat, but it looked like a regular, like a baseball hat without a brim. It
He's
was
not
so
being
big.
insensitive,
No,
listeners.
no, trust me.
He's not
I love Jews, right? I mean,
Yeah.
hey.
He's not insinuating
Um,
that yarmulkes aren't hats.
Ooh, is it getting hot in here? The snowstorm really went away.
They're hats.
They're religious symbols and they're hats. Yes.
Yeah.
but it's the biggest yarmulke I've ever seen in my life. It was huge. He comes downstairs and he wants to be Jewish so he can celebrate Hanukkah and get 8 days of presents, which is that, joke that you're always going to get, you get a present every day, so you're going to get a bunch of presents, implying that he wouldn't be getting like 8 presents on Christmas.
Yeah.
So he somehow thinks I would get more, like 8 Christmases or something. And then the mom said, "You don't just become Jewish." And then he goes, "Sammy Davis Jr. did," which I took offense to because it was a very stupid joke.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I fear rejection, so I reject others before they can reject me.
Well, I fear rejection, so I create snowstorms so people are unable to leave their houses.
Really?
People think it's global warming, but it's actually my heart is cooling.
All I know is that I'm cool because I got sunglasses on.
He does, people. I don't know why.
I don't either. I'm inside during a snowstorm with a fire going, and I got sunglasses on. They're Christmas sunglasses, so they're like little, they're shaped like trees, but
it's cool.
It's like how John Lennon glasses are just round, but mine are trees.
He believes instead of world PC, he believes in world trees.
Exactly. And I put so many lights up on those trees, I caused global warming.
Burned a lot of acres.
But it looked cool for a few minutes with all the Christmas lights.
He's a real wiseacre.
Speaking of wiseacres, some of the Christmas decorations they were bringing out were the 3 wise men.
Yeah.
And Bob Uecker said they must have been eating ding-dongs in the summer because they're really heavy now.
That was the first joke of the show, I think, right?
I think so, yeah.
It was a good joke.
Yes,
really.
It made me laugh really hard.
Yeah. Either these wise men are eating ding-dongs or I'm getting out of shape or whatever.
Yeah, after that Sammy Davis Jr. joke, we go into the kitchen, and Kevin, the oldest son, is talking to Mr. Belvedere, and Kevin wants to go to the Poconos with some sorority girls over Christmas because they're renting a little cabin and having like a ski trip. So he wanted Mr. Belvedere to take his place at the dinner, like the Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
And Mr. Belvedere goes, "Well, if you're not there, who's going to spill eggnog on your father?" It's like, is that somehow a Christmas tradition in their family?
Well, so you mean it's happening for the first time right now, as is Mr. Belvedere's definition of tradition, is what my joke.
And like,
is what I was trying to say.
It's weird.
It is.
He's like, you could even sit in my chair.
Yeah. This is an example. We discussed this before on the first viewing of the VHS tape of Mr. Belvedere.
With original commercials.
With all the original AT&T commercials. Remember that 10-10-220? I mean, that was after this. But remember that?
Yeah, that was funny. John Stamos, 10-10-987.
I mean, that was after this, but I mean...
Yeah, it was like 10 years later, but still.
But we were talking about how nothing matters at all in the story. It's just everything's sort of like a device to move the shitty story along.
Yeah.
And Kevin is trying to... He says to Miss Belvedere that they won't notice that Kevin's gone.
Yeah, or like they'll notice it less, or...
No, they won't. Mr. Belvedere he's the opposite of you. You're a skinny young guy, and he's a fat old guy who's British.
Well, it's like...
It's not equivalent at all.
Do you think your parents won't notice that their oldest son is not at Christmas?
And he's like, that's the laziness of the writing in this, where why Kevin's not that stupid. He's not that stupid to think that they're not going to notice or that's going to change something.
Yeah. And the scene literally only exists to give you the reason of him wanting to not be there.
Yeah.
Which we don't need. And then, also Belvedere not liking Christmas, so that's already been established like 3 times. But yeah, the scene is totally pointless.
It's so...
It's just showing that Kevin is horny and wants to go away for Christmas.
What did I write? I wrote, Kevin wants to get fucked on Christmas in my notes.
That sums it up.
That's all it is.
Maybe he's going to spill eggnog on one of the sorority girls,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Spill something that looks like eggnog.
Yeah, right in her mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Wesley, what is it? He's messing with the candles, like he's gonna light a menorah.
Yeah, he brings them down to the
and he's like setting them up. Did he actually have a menorah? I didn't see it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So he went out and
got that.
Yeah, where did he get a menorah from?
I don't know. Yeah. I thought that. I was like, wait a minute, why? That's at least $20 or $30.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even a cheap one. Like he still had to make a trip to the store, and we did not see him go to the store.
He didn't. Yeah, he just sort of materialized those. So which whatever. But that's back to the. It's one of the laziest episodes of any show I've ever seen.
Bob Uecker then gives him sort of a speech about Jewish heritage.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like really clearly well researched. He gave a very pointed speech, almost like it was almost like a public service announcement. The way they said it, it was strict, to the point, not a joke. It was just saying it was important for these people, and you can't do this because you're not Jewish. And then his wife's like, "Wow, you sure knew a lot." And he goes, "Yeah, I don't know it because of Sandy Koufax." Because, you know, baseball, because he's Bob Uecker and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was that scene.
Yeah, that was pointless.
Next part is when he goes up, Wesley goes up to see Mr. Belvedere messing with his broken watch.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's up in his, like, single bed, just sad, sad little room in the top of their house, wherever the hell he is. And he's, like, looking mournfully and sorrowfully at a little watch. And Wesley comes in and he asks him about it. And he's like, "Well, your watch has a broken piece of glass on it." He goes, "It's fine. I won't fix it."
I don't want to fix it.
And then
He didn't say that. But...
and that's basically it, though. They just don't talk about it, really.
That's it.
Like he won't. Mr. Belvedere isn't exactly forthcoming with this
No,
information.
he's not.
Like literally goes nowhere. He won't tell him anything, and then it just cuts to commercial.
Yeah.
It's so pointless.
It's really crappy.
He's just sitting there sad and alone and won't fix a broken watch, and then it goes to commercial. Then we see Kevin coming downstairs. He's talking to his mom, and his mom is talking about how much he loves Christmas, apparently.
And they're really happy. Let's put that.
Yeah,
like, everything's very warm
super
and congenial.
happy. And she says that he punched a kid for saying that Santa didn't exist.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "No, that's when you're confusing it. That's when you told me Dad was the Tooth Fairy." So he is that insane about Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy that he will punch somebody for questioning whether it's real. I'd hate to see what he's like about real religion or whatever he actually believes in, because that or like politics. Could you imagine that?
Well, luckily Wesley and Kevin were like never in the same room.
Yeah.
For some reason, so that never came up.
Do you think he's a Trump supporter?
Kevin?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yes. Oh my God. Hell yes.
He seems like he would be.
He's the quintessential Trump supporter.
Kind of spoiled,
Yeah.
dumb, and
Dumb.
quick, prone to anger.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he thinks he can get to the Poconos in like a day.
Yeah.
I don't know that. Doesn't Bob Uecker say that he can't?
The daughter wants to go to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Have fun swimming there overnight." So he punched that kid because of Santa, and then he tells his mom that he wants to go to the Poconos to go with the sorority girls, and he says they're the Alpha Fees are renting a cabin. Let me say that again. Alpha Fees.
What is?
Okay.
It's not a.
Sororities and other Greek fraternities use Greek letters. So Alpha, that checks out. That's A. It should be either Pies or Phies, but he pronounced it Fees.
That's well, the attention to detail that the Belvedere staff shows.
Yeah, so not only did they get through 2 days of rehearsals and shoots for this, but also a couple rewrites that same week, because that's how sitcom shooting works, and nobody decided to tell them how to pronounce Alpha Phies.
He's probably a really angry guy in real life, so they're like, just shut up, let him say fees.
Have a dramatic irony laugh at his expense, because we know he's saying it wrong. But then all the dumb people that watch it probably didn't know.
I have no idea.
They're just like, "Oh yeah, the Alpha Fees."
And they're probably like, I want to be in the Alpha Fees.
When I
so I can hang out with Kev.
When I get to college, I'm going to join the Alpha Fees. I love ski trips.
Yeah, you know what? You're going to be paying a lot of Alpha Fees.
And you're going to have to do some really gross things to get initiated.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, I've just heard stories.
Yeah, and I've just ridden charters.
About those Alpha Fees stories I've
Yeah.
heard. Oh boy. It goes back to Mr. Belvedere's sad room. Only this time, Wesley and the sister sneak in. And
Tracy Wells.
They
Look that up on IMDb.
they start looking through his stuff to find the box with the watch in it, because they decide, like, oh, we're going to fix it for him for Christmas as a nice Christmas present. Maybe it'll make him happy. But then they read the letter that he was reading, and it was like some sad, horrible thing about this woman in World War II that he clearly had some sort of relationship with, and she was saying she had to go take care of her brother's kids because he got drafted in the army in England. And you know, it's World War II, man. This is a pretty old show. This is like a 28-year-old show probably. And then so yeah, I don't know. It really makes you think. Time goes by.
Time goes by. That would be writing about Mr. Belvedere's romance during the
Iraq War.
the Iraqi freedom. Whatever.
Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Yeah.
But the letter was just like, oh, I'm sorry we can't be together anymore because I have to go take care of these kids. And they're all like, Wesley and the sister get kind of sad, and they're like,
Oh yeah, I have something to say.
Yeah.
Do you notice the girl like cries, but she like cries for maybe 1 second. She throws her face in her hands and like weeps, and then takes them out, and she's done and complete. This is the worst acting I've ever seen in my life.
and then she immediately springs into some fake story, backstory
Yeah.
she made up for it too.
Just
So,
like not real. It's not characterization, and they try to. It was crazy.
but she's like as bipolar as the rest of the family.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Wow, that's a fucked up family. I'd like to see a sitcom that took place before Mr. Belvedere got there. Was the house just like
Oh my god, I
maggots
couldn't even imagine.
and like dirty dishes and like
There would
is
just be
he
people
real-
screaming at each other,
Yeah.
and then like throwing plates against the wall.
Well, then again, I think
So it would be Married with Children.
yeah, that's true. Hey, that's Mr. Yeah, Married Children is Mr. Belvedere with no Mr. Belvedere. That's pretty crazy. They pitched Married Children as it's Mr. Belvedere without a butler.
God, you gotta lay off this eggnog. You're
Hey,
getting all
listen,
toasted.
I'll tell you when I've had enough.
She gets super dramatic about it, and she's like, the love that was never capable between Mr. Belvedere and Pamela. Oh boy. And then,
She's very clinical.
yeah, it was
She's
really,
never capable.
it was weird. Then it cuts down to Wesley, and he's using the phone in the kitchen. His sister comes in, and she's like, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm calling England to find out where Pamela Kent is. She's like, you can't just call England and find out where she is. And then the girl walks out of the room, and then he goes, oh, hi, Mrs. Kent. So he immediately got connected to her somehow, and yeah, that was that scene.
Yeah, that was a lot of tension.
I think it was supposed to be a joke how easy it was, but it just really was bland.
Yeah.
Not cut right or something.
So the show has no timing.
Yeah, it was
It's
bad.
very leisurely and bad.
Well, that's just the Belvedere style. He's so leisurely
Yeah,
and cool.
that's true.
It's like maybe he edited it.
Yeah, Christopher Hewitt edits it with a big pan of lasagna.
He stood there with a plate of cookies and lasagna and 2 liters of Mountain Dew. That was the most pointless short scene.
It really was.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm calling England. That'll never work. Oh, hi, it worked.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, it turns into the room. Oh, hi, Pamela.
That daughter has no character.
Yeah, why was she in the show?
I don't know.
I mean, they need a girl, I guess, but come on.
Whoever wrote that was a guy who says girls cry, right? And then they are dreamy. And then she did both things
Girls
in the
are
one scene that she
girls like
mattered.
relationships and they
Yeah.
feel things.
And then otherwise, she acted just like Kevin and was just as insensitive as Kevin
Yep.
and wanted to not be with the family at Christmas. But I digress.
Bob Euchre is talking to Mr. Belvedere in front of the Christmas tree while he's making a bike. Like he's assembling
Yeah.
assembling a bike, and the guy's like, was that for Wesley or the daughter or whatever? He goes, no, it's for my wife. Your butt's getting too big or something like
Her
that.
butt's starting to droop.
Yeah, and then Mr. Belvedere goes, he said like all of us have that problem eventually. I don't know. Something, it's just getting old and fat. That's basically the joke.
And then Bob Iger's like, hey, maybe you should get a bike for your face. He didn't really say that.
They're standing under the mistletoe.
Yeah,
And so Euchre's like, we're under the mistletoe, and then
like, don't even try it.
don't even do that. They hinted at gay stuff, so
Yeah.
that was really fun in the 80s.
Probably my favorite part.
I like the hesitance towards homosexuality. It's really
Yeah.
funny, you know?
It's like Euchre's comfortable with sexuality, but then again,
It's actually, it should be the other way around.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're subverting it because they make a lot of jokes about like Mr. Belvedere being kind of gay and like fey.
yeah, it's true.
But then Bob Euchre's the one that's like playing with it, and then so he's showing how manly Belvedere is by rejecting the advances.
Yeah,
So maybe that's like a really complex joke,
yeah, maybe.
Or maybe they
we
just-
don't get this show.
or maybe we got to watch this a third time.
Yeah, or
Because-
you a second.
Well, yeah,
me a
it's-
third.
Well, and then a combined fifth,
Yeah,
which we need a couple fifths in our
yeah.
eggnog to
oh
get through
my.
this again.
Well, hey, I got the nog.
Yeah.
You got the hog.
Yeah, I do.
What is this, Mr. Belvedere?
That was such a strange moment. It really should have been fitting with character if Belvedere was like the
Yeah.
trying to make Euchre uncomfortable because Euchre's such a man's man. So I assume it had to have been like a subverting joke, but
And
it
also,
didn't work.
Euchre, like, thought he uses some fucking guy. He can't even put together a goddamn bike.
Yeah, a bike that really clearly he's just struggling with putting the seat on.
And the handlebars were like...
So you literally just drop those in and put like one bolt in and you're good.
It was pretty pathetic. And then they make the joke where Euchre says, the guy down at the bike shop said even a monkey could put it together. Well, maybe you should hire one or something. So that wasn't very nice.
Maybe Euchre should pay him on Christmas to put that bike together.
Yeah.
Do you think you got a Christmas bonus or anything?
Belvedere?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't seem like it.
Yeah, I wouldn't assume so.
But then again...
Euchre seems cheap.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
they have
does.
a butler, but they seem cheap.
It's a weird show, people. I wonder why they have a butler.
Their house isn't very messy.
No.
They're not very slovenly people either.
Oh.
It's like, well, they maybe have like crumbs on their shirt after they eat a big sandwich or something.
Yeah.
Like, I could imagine Euchre watching a football game and having chips and stuff.
Belvedere like, he's a game.
That's not football.
Yeah, that's football. And Euchre's like, bleh, bleh.
And then Euchre's like, this is football. You like soccer. that's America joke.
Yeah.
The next morning, I assume.
I don't know, I guess.
Heather, oh, that's her name. Heather, the sister, and the mom talk about the ski trip that Kevin might go on.
It starts off really congenial, just like the scene between Kevin and his mom, and then
His mom's like really
escalates into fighting.
His mom's like really passive aggressive. Like she's like, "Oh, it's fine. He can do what he wants."
Yeah, she's
and
like,
then
"I told him
immediately-
he could if he wanted to."
Yeah.
I forgot her whole. It was basically, you can tell it's written by a bunch of guys.
bunch of guys who were like, "Honey, I need to go to the bar tonight," and she's like, "Do what you want." And then like they got yelled at because they went to the bar. So
Yeah,
they wrote
they're
that
like,
into
"I
the
don't
script.
get it. She's like, I can do what I want.
How could she be mad when she didn't say she wanted me to stay home?
I'm gonna put this in my art."
It is high art. I'll give it that.
Yeah, you gotta be high to watch it.
Exactly. Yeah, they talk about the ski trip and stuff, and then Heather's like, "Yeah, but Becky or something invited me
Yeah, I don't
to
know.
the Bahamas or some tropical place.
Yeah.
I didn't go because you said I had to come here for Christmas, even though she's still in high school." Kevin is at least in college and can go somewhere for Christmas.
He's in college. Holy
They said he's 19,
Ooh.
and then Euchre comes in, and then he notices how tense things have gotten with the mom, and then he's like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Well, Kevin's gonna go to the Poconos with the Alpha Fees, and she wants to go to the Bahamas with her friend for Christmas." And then he's like, "You know what? No one's doing anything.
You're grounded."
You're grounded." And then immediately he says, "I might as well just go to work tomorrow."
Yeah. He says essentially he cancels Christmas.
Yeah.
Very quickly. We're talking like maybe 40 seconds.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, there's no Christmas now in the Bob Euchre household. It cuts to him coming in from outside with a big cardboard box filled with Christmas lights.
That was the one funny joke, I thought.
He says, "Oh, I figured I'd take him down now. I mean, there's no Christmas anymore. I mean, why wait till August?"
Got a huge reaction from the studio audience, too.
Yeah.
It was maybe the best joke in the show. And not a good one by any means, but...
No, but it actually worked as a
Yeah.
joke. It implied that he left them up for 10 months, which is a solid joke. Or 8 months, I mean.
Yeah, no, it was, the audience responded accordingly. They were, like, caught off guard, I think. I wonder what the person who laughed at the Mr. Belvedere spending time alone joke, I wonder what they thought. Maybe they didn't get that joke.
Maybe they thought he was going to hang himself with the Christmas
Yeah,
lights.
maybe they were like, but I thought it was going to pay off.
Belvedere comes down the stairs and he says, "I'm going to go see a matinee."
See you all tomorrow.
Something really caught my eye on those stairs.
Oh, what? I didn't see anything.
They have like 7 goddamn clocks on their stairs. There's a grandfather clock, cuckoo clock, and then 3 or 4 other clocks. There's so many clocks just on the back wall of their stairway.
I didn't notice that.
It's insane. It's almost like they collect clocks. It's bonkers. I'm the guy who notices a Reggie Miller poster in a show or a Tony Kukoc poster. But hey,
Kukoc.
how many kinds of clocks do they need in this house? Especially the one area. Like, I can understand having one clock in every room, especially in the 80s when no one had phones or anything with the clocks on them. It's so many clocks. They were all within a 4-foot area.
I didn't notice that.
It was crazy. I'll put up a screenshot of it nowhere.
on Imgur?
Yeah, on Imgur.
Put it in the description.
Yeah, check the description of the YouTube video and I'll have a link to that screenshot. So then, yeah, he's gonna go see a movie, which is a classic thing to do on Christmas because the movie theaters are open on Christmas. And then Wesley comes down and he's like, "You can't leave yet." And then Mr. Belvedere goes, "Oh, but I put your present under the tree, Wesley. It's the one that's ticking and it says open first." So
There's another clock.
yeah, he's implying that he gave him a bomb.
Yeah.
Which, first of all,
To kill the whole family.
we've seen no evidence of them actually hating each other for real, but he's threatening him with a bomb. Some sort of IED explosive device he probably made with
Crazy.
cleansers and stuff. So he put in a bomb for Wesley as a Christmas present. And then not only did he do that, but he said open it first.
Yeah, so blow up all the other presents and kill everyone.
Why not like say open last? So like maybe Wesley will be like off by himself in the corner, and like maybe like Heather won't be blown up and get shrapnel in her eyes. But no, he wants him to open up first.
It's a pretty dark joke.
It is a very dark joke.
That guy, again, that one person that laughed during that lonely joke probably loved that fucking joke.
That could not be on a show now.
No.
He literally threatened a child with a bomb.
We don't condone that.
We support the idea of people being happy.
Yeah, we support...
As long as they're good people and not like Hitler being happy.
We support everything that's not Hitler.
Yeah.
Or like Hitler.
Yeah, like Stalin.
Yeah. And you know, Saddam Hussein...
Or Pol Pot.
Saddam Hussein, some people thought he was, you know, the Gandhi of the Middle East.
He had some good ideas.
Yeah.
Do you think Donald Trump would make Belvedere mandatory to watch?
Yes.
Do you think he'll say, "All right, you dirty Muslims, you can come to America if you watch every episode of Mr. Belvedere," and that'll like indoctrinate them with America?
Yeah. Well, Euchre's man's man.
Yeah.
Wesley's a bit of a scam.
He's precocious.
Yeah, and the daughter...
She's a hot American babe.
Hot. She's 5'3". Her name is Tracy Wells. I was her IMDb today. The mom is drunk.
She's probably an alcoholic.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, but yeah, the mom's drunk. She says stinner instead of dinner.
You should get some Skinner.
Hey, guy, you get some stinner?
Christmas Skinner.
I think she's either on pills or something, maybe a lot of lithium.
She had a stroke.
Yeah, like during the shooting, and they were like, just keep going.
Just go, no one will notice.
Yeah. Mr. Belvedere, if anything, even though he's the butler, he still is a decadent guy.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird dynamic if you think about it.
He really is.
He's the subservient one in this household, yet he's the lofty, fancy guy. It really makes you think.
It's really good. I guess, well, then again, Fresh Prince has that same effect in a way. The snotty guy is the one who's taking care of everything. But is that a metaphor for, you know...
The rich being actually shitty people?
Yeah!
Yeah.
It's like, I'm Mr. Belvedere. Well, I mean, I eat as much as him. I have a similar physique.
You have the same predatory mustache?
Yeah! I never even thought about it. I was always relating with Bob Euchre because of my man's man mentality.
Yeah, that's where you went wrong. You're in Belvedere through and through.
That's true. Proud of it.
Wesley tries to get him to stay and not go to the movies, and then he's like, "Yeah, your present's already there. It's a bomb. Open it first."
Hey, I'm gonna kill you for Christmas.
I'm gonna murder you. Hey, it's pretty cool. So then everybody comes clean about Wesley having called Pamela the English lady, and they do this like dramatic, sappy stuff about how like things could never have worked out between us, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden, knocked on the door, Pamela's there, and she's really old.
She's old.
Because she's, what, 20 years older than him,
Yeah,
he said?
she's 20 years his senior.
Kevin opens the door, and she thinks Kevin is Mr. Belvedere.
Yeah, that's...
Is suffering from severe dementia.
Yeah.
Or something like that was...
For that moment.
Kevin is 19. Mr. Belvedere is probably, what, 50?
Yeah, 50, maybe
something, 55?
60?
I was going to say 59. I was just going to guess 59.
Yeah,
he's probably
an older
like
guy.
62?
Well, he's probably like...
Because, like, this is... Okay, so this is mid-80s, so that means 40 years would have been World War II.
Yeah. So
And
he's at
then
least
he would have had to have
60.
been at least 16 when he's banging this lady. So, yeah, he's got to be at least mid-50s to early 60s. So...
He doesn't take care of himself, so yeah,
No.
50, 54, 55.
But to confuse him with Kevin is just ludicrous.
Yeah, because he never looked like Kevin. He didn't look like Kevin.
No.
Totally different frame. Like, Kevin's an ectomorph
They have an awkward tea. That's clearly the point of the scene, was to have it be awkward, but it's boring.
I don't know about this.
She says she went on vacation somewhere. Oh, she went to Spain, but mostly for the sangria.
Yeah.
And then he says, I'd like to take vacation in Hershey, mostly for the kisses.
Oh, and she laughs, and that's when it all turns around.
Yep. Then they have a rocking good time.
They start getting drunk.
They start drinking a little bit of probably fancy port or something.
Yeah. I thought you said fancy port. I was like, oh, I guess that is what Mr. Belvedere is fancy port.
It's some kind of port or a sipping wine or something.
Brandy or something. Maybe that's nothing like that.
They walk out and he goes, I've never hated Christmas. It's just sad. I think about lost friends and everyone that's gone by and everyone that's dead, and then
I'll spend it alone.
And then the entire family pulls out hankies and like cries.
Yeah, and
like that's supposed to be a joke.
And and Euchre's like, it's the hay fever.
It was a bad joke.
He's like, yes, that must be what it is.
After that successful joke about people crying because
and everyone
of people
having
dying,
handkerchiefs, a little cartoony.
I could believe Euchre had one because he's an old-timey kind of guy, but like the wife and the daughter. I mean, I get that's the joke, but that's too absurd for this show.
Yeah, the show's based in reality, and if it's not, then nothing about it works, because the whole thing is the tension and the classism and all that stuff that I'm going to stop talking about because I don't give a fuck. But yeah, he doesn't. It's too cartoony. But then again, he did tell Wesley he's gonna fucking commit, fucking murder him.
Yeah,
and
but
the whole family.
I don't think that's more. I wouldn't call that absurd. I'd call that just psychopathy. He's a real crazy person. I can believe that. Like he's frustrated. He's gonna go postal. This is the good old days of going postal. You know.
Whatever happened to going postal? Now it's terrorism.
Yeah.
Let's call it Al Qaeda's postal.
Let's call it what it is. Al Qaeda's a mailman who went postal.
Yeah, they're a bunch of mailmen. Because I mean, rain or shine, they're out there delivering their quote unquote packages.
No rain, nor sleet, nor dead of night.
But America, we are out there. We're also like post people delivering democracy.
Exactly.
So yeah, and we do airmail because we have jets with bombs on them.
And drones.
And drones.
So then Mr. Belvedere is going to the hotel with Pamela, and they make a point of saying they're going to relive the high points of the bombing raid that they lived through together. Now, I also forgot to mention that when they were being bombed in World War II in a hotel, they went and had sex.
Yeah.
So that also plays against the type of like him being kind of femmy, so it's established that he's had sex with her, and like I swear that was a joke in a lot of them that he's just kind of like not straight. But he had sex with this lady, and then they're going to the hotel to relive the high points of it, which means they're gonna have sex again, and she's old.
I thought
he's probably gonna have a heart attack while he's having sex with her.
Well, the thing is, I wrote if he fucks her, like he's gonna kill her, because she's an old woman, and he's big, and I don't think that he's in his prime form. He will destroy her.
He is not.
He will suffocate her.
He has not questioned his doctor about whether he's healthy enough for sexual activity.
No, that's just insane. Like, I don't think that's gonna work. Something bad is gonna happen.
Yeah, I bet she's gonna have a heart attack, or he's gonna have a heart attack, or he's gonna collapse on top of her and suffocate her after he has a heart attack.
Yeah,
it's gonna be bad news.
It's too much.
Like you know they're gonna do more than just hand stuff.
No, definitely. It's been years.
She flew all the way from England. She's gonna get raw dogged by Mr. Belvedere.
Yep, and he doesn't need to use condoms.
His sperm is too fancy to get a girl pregnant.
Yeah, that's true.
His sperm just dawdles around with a cane, and it's just like la da da da.
What do you talk about when you ejaculate onto a woman's neck and give her a pearl necklace? His just comes out as a pearl necklace, no matter where he shoots it. So that's how fancy he is.
So he's gonna walk out the door because Pamela walked out the door, and they're gonna go to the hotel. He's walking out the door and then just gets hit in the face with a snowball.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Weird.
Like, I actually thought it was going to be Wesley, because, like, that would make much more sense to have, like, the precocious kid throw it at him. So apparently this woman has an arm that can, like, whip a snowball at him.
It's a big snowball, too.
Why would she do that?
Because she's drunk?
They're gonna go...
Playful?
They're gonna go, like, have sex, and they're connecting and stuff, and then she just whips a snowball in his face, and there's probably a chunk of ice in it.
It didn't make any sense. It was just the whole episode, it kind of goes in the theme of just nothing makes any fucking sense.
No.
It's just really arbitrary.
And can we talk about how much time has passed? We still don't know what day it was.
Yeah.
Yet he managed to call England and get her here first class. By the way, they make a mention of.
Oh, yeah.
So she flies first class from England to Philadelphia. That's at least a day's worth of planning.
Yeah.
Or a couple days worth of planning.
They
Like,
had no internet, so she had to go. They had to get her the ticket, get everything checked. She had to have a passport.
yep.
I just don't believe it. Not to shatter the reality.
Like,
of
this
the
has
show.
to have been at least like a week, but it seems like it takes place over a day.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe 2 days.
At minimum, from the opening shot, like 3 days, I would say.
Yeah.
Or that's what it seems, but it should be longer.
They don't give you. There's no indication.
So then, Kevin decides to stay and not go to the Poconos. And then the daughter decides to stay, and she goes, I didn't like night swimming anyway. And that was supposed to be a joke. Oh, yeah. So then they decide to open presents, because Wesley's like, everyone stand, let's open presents on Christmas Eve, I guess. Or is it Christmas? I still don't even know.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
Because it seems kind of like a waste.
Well, he said something about when he's going to see the movie, because I won't be here tomorrow. So maybe
Oh,
it's
okay,
Christmas
yeah,
Eve.
so it's Christmas Eve. So also, I guess some families do open them all on Christmas
Yeah.
Eve. I think that's morally wrong.
Yeah, no, I do too.
It's not Christmas yet, you idiots.
Jesus was born the day after.
Yeah, you
Not
get-
that I believe that.
You get presents on Jesus' fucking birthday.
Yeah.
You don't get them beforehand.
His birthday's not the day before his birthday. All right.
They go to open the presents, they all run to the tree, and then daughter Heather, she picks up a box and she starts shaking it, and she goes, "Oh, this is so big! It's a big present." And it's like clearly just filler dialogue that wasn't supposed to be heard by anybody. But then Wesley picks up a basketball and starts dribbling, and it wasn't wrapped, and he didn't unwrap it. He just so there's just a basketball under a tree, and he picked it up, and that's his present. Like, what the that really bothered me. It's like, why is there just a
lazy.
basketball sitting there with that? Like, it would have been kind of a joke if it had paper on it and he dribbled it, but then no one would know what it is.
Said like, I wonder what this is.
Yeah,
But Kevin would
that
be
would
like,
actually be
I
kind
don't know.
That'd actually be kind of funny if he's like, I wonder what this is, and then he just dribbles it, and you think like it might be a glass thing, and then
Yeah.
it turns out it's a basketball. That would be kind of funny. Euchre comes in with the bike for the wife, and she goes, "This is the best bike job ever." They're the best job he's ever done at making a bike.
Oh, yeah.
Implying that he's failed multiple times at making bikes for the kids. And then it goes to commercial. It comes back with the closing thing of Belvedere writing in his journal or whatever.
Yeah.
And like Belvedere's writing this down, and it's in voiceover. Is it in voiceover? I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
I
voiceover.
think so.
But he's like, Pamela and I have agreed to meet again in 40 more years.
But she's a caucus.
So she's gonna be dead, and that's the joke, because she's old. And they're actually not gonna meet up again, I guess. And then he says, I can't wait for tomorrow when we're going to the mall, and the family's going to avoid each other while returning each other's gifts. So implying they all hate their gifts, even though clearly Wesley liked his basketball,
Yeah.
and the daughter liked the large box.
Yeah.
She was really stoked about that. And then he says Wesley's been trying to be extra nice and come up with extra money to pay his dad back for the plane ticket. And then Mr. Belvedere goes, what he doesn't know is that I've already paid him back. What Wesley doesn't know won't hurt him, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just basically, he paid him back, and he's just gonna watch Wesley suffer and try to come up with $600 or whatever for a first class ticket.
Yeah. I didn't get that.
So he's like vindictive about it, I guess.
It's not funny.
No.
It's also like a really kind of not an abstract joke, but sort of like high concept of the viewer has to imagine Wesley doing odd jobs.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, putting all this effort into paying his dad back. It's stupid.
When in reality, he's just a kid, and he'd
Yeah.
probably like maybe mow the lawn a couple times or something.
I don't know. Listen, I don't have all the answers.
Yeah, I'm no Mr. Belvedere. I don't know everything that's going on.
No.
So that was Mr. Belvedere. I'm glad we watched that today on
Yeah.
Christmas Eve. I guess you should probably be heading back now. I mean, the storm doesn't seem
Yeah.
to be letting up at all. It seems like it got worse, actually.
That's good. Yeah, I should walk out home in the storm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing you burned your coat, too.
Yeah.
Because then,
hey,
you know, your skin will be nice and warm, and then you can make it all the way out of your house.
I'm gonna run so my skin will retain the nice temperature you have in this place.
Yep, pretty great. I'm
Hey.
glad I get to stay here by myself.
Yeah, I can't wait. Probably gonna go stay in a motel in the lobby. Or wait, is a motel $6?
No,
Oh,
they're
Motel 8, it's $8.
yeah, they're a lot of money. They're a lot more than you can afford.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here and play with this Amigo figure in front of my
Yeah, you have
fireplace.
fun with that.
It's gonna be great. You know, all that rum in the eggnog will keep you warm,
Yeah,
right?
Will. Hey, can I take it with me?
Glass maybe. I got a travel mug you can use.
Oh, sweet. Hey, what's that noise on the roof?
Oh my god, did you hear that? I guess you did because you just asked me.
Yeah, I did.
Wow. What? Oh my god, is there ash coming down through the chimney?
Yes, there is.
Oh my god.
God, who is that?
I mean, I just had that clean the crew so it's not built up in it. I mean, you gotta be safe with these. You gotta get them
Yeah.
cleaned once a year. You don't want a carbon monoxide poisoning.
No, that's besides the point.
But what the heck is coming down the chimney?
Oh my god, it's 2 legs.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Is that Santa
I think
Claus?
so. I'm squinting.
Hold on, I gotta get these cookies out really quick.
Oh my god.
Okay, I got cookies, milk. Okay. Pretend to be asleep. Pretend to be
Okay.
asleep.
Wee, 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 wee.
I'm Santa Claus.
We're sleeping, so.
Pretend you were asleep.
Wee, 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 wee.
Good thing you've both been on the nice list this year.
Right.
Yeah, what he doesn't know won't hurt him.
You fucking idiot. Wee, 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 wee.
Hey, wait, I think he's turning around. He does exist.
Oh my god.
They do exist. Santa, you sawed us? Yes. Now I'm gonna go. Enjoy your other Mego figures.
For me?
For all of you. You got the whole set.
Yes. Wow.
I know your family would like some toys, but hey, gotta go back to the North Pole.
Hey, that's all right. They have enough.
See you boys next year. Enjoy the podcast.
Okay. You
Bye,
too.
Santa Claus.
Bye. Wow. That was crazy.
I can't believe he really exists.
Yeah, and that we exist also.
I know, it's like that M&M's commercial, but in real
Yeah.
life.
Wow.
Man,
You know that green M&M? I've always wanted to have sex with her.
oh my god, she's cute.
I think I'll ask for her for Christmas next year.
That would be pretty great.
Yeah. I'll make my wife jealous. Maybe she'll have sex with me again. But yeah, that green M&M.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Hey, I'd like to take a bite out of that.
Wouldn't we all?
You know, to be honest, I'd take a bite out of the yellow one too.
Yeah, and the red one.
I mean, the yellow one's kind of dumb.
I like the one with
but
nut in it.
yeah, I'd like to put some nut in the red one.
Yeah. Hey, this devolved.
this just turned into Howard Stern.
Yeah, it did.
Baba Booey, Santa's penis.
Oh, Christmas time.
Okay, so get the fuck out of my house.
Okay.
Freak. Merry Christmas.
This has been a So Well Read production.
So well read.